Two guys who not only played in the league, but coached as well. Former Coach of the Year in Sam Mitchell and Earl Watson, who, well, last coaching job was one of the teams that's playing in the postseason night in the Phoenix Suns. Which series are you looking forward to the most?
The Hawks and Sixers for me. What Trae Young is doing is phenomenal. To see his growth and his evolution, coach, at that point position, not being on the biggest stage in New York and not being rattled or afraid. The way he played and put on a show was very charismatic of an 80s basketball player who really brought the game into our front home in the living room. And to see what he's done in the first game, play beyond the arc and forcing his will and style on the game, to me has separated. And Coach McMillan, he's been a lot of different stops, had great runs, always had a knock on him of not winning big series, and I think he's proven he's capable of winning a big series now. I think they found something, the Clippers, and sometimes you have an equation so big in winning, you look at all the most difficult parts of the equation to find the sum. And the truth is, sometimes it's the most simplest thing. The Clippers found .5 basketball. They had 0.5 of a second to pass it, drive it, to shoot it, and they passed the ball very well in the Game 7, and they made each other better. So passing in this series is going to be key. How quick can you deliver the pass on time and on target for three-point shots and move the ball inside out, or sometimes drive and kick on the perimeter? You have to be disruptive. And what I mean by that, you have to have a new offensive strategy. You have to have a new defensive strategy because you have to give hope to your team, because if you don't, the team will lose faith in you in the locker room. And then lastly, Coach, I will be sitting with my analytical team. It's like, this is when I need you. I don't need you to tell me where to shoot from. I need you to tell me where they are inefficient from.
Exactly.
Where is Katie? That shot chart had everything going to the right. What is it at for the season? Why is he not going left? And then you have things like off one dribble, two dribbles. When he's passing it, what is the efficiency for assists? Where's that shot coming from? Because players have rhythms and they have habits. But with the ball, Katie and Kyrie, they're non-pattern players. You can't disrupt those rhythm and habits. But maybe you can disrupt their location of where that happens. And you better pray that you have an opportunity to stay in the game, because one blow in the first quarter and the second quarter of the next game could take complete confidence away.
Everybody wants to win this tournament, and that's what makes it fun.
And I think you have to credit that to the freshmen. We have a great influx of freshmen that kind of rebirthed the pack. The talent is unbelievable. We have maybe 5 potential first-round picks. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 6, so you just never know when you get into that draft room and get into individual workouts if they chose to leave early. But this right here, Jaden McDaniels, I agree, he has the best potential of being an NBA player, because you mentioned it to me before the show, his wingspan is what?
7'7".
That is unbelievable. That's unbelievable. He's crazy. Athletic, so he's a DN3 guy at the next level, and he's identifying himself as that now.
Final Saturday of league play.
This is big time. This is what all players dream about, especially point guards. Chances like this to take over. You in your backyard, you young, you count down the clock, you get a chance to win the game, and if you miss it, you get fouled and go to the free throw line. You make up the scenarios.
Darren Williams was a pattern player in Utah for Coach Sloan. You knew the offense would be the same every year. They would run autos, and he mastered those patterns. Coach Sloan never lets you play outside of his offense.
Okay.
LeBron James is an innovator. He's a quick thinker. He's the maestro of basketball. He controls every orchestra on the court, and how he takes over games and creating throughout the flow of the game is a fluid puzzle thinker.
I think they were efficient, and one thing they did, Coach, which we know in points per possession analytically, they got to the paint, which they got to the rim. They got to the foul line, in the corner threes. They spread out that defense and forced them to play weak side basketball. What Denver has to do is make sure when those passes go to the weak side, they're not direct passes. That means your hands have to become deflections and make them throw it over your hand to give that weak side a chance to close out and force them to play outside of that corner. Because weak side corner, if you can get that shot every time, you will win the game. His game is at the highest level when he plays the point. He plays the floor of the games, and the young guys, with having Devin Booker, he doesn't have to do so much so early and too soon. He's building confidence within the team, within the game. And when it comes time to close, Coach Mitch, he is closing in isolation, which there is no defensive strategy for that. He's getting to that mid-post shot, the little floater, the elbows, the paint, the runners, the one leg, and left wing three, the isolation on Paul Millsap, that step-back move he has mastered that. And it reminds me of playing against Steve Nash. We'd come to the timeouts and coaches would be like, we have him under control. I'm like, no. He's waiting until that right moment. He studies every read. When he has time to execute and he has that opportunity, he is going to close the game.
How important is Gotch going to be if this team is going to have success on the floor against Oregon State?
I think playing a vertical action, he's great at rebounding the ball because of his size. Now he's playing a point position, so he's dominating the basketball and pushing in transition, attacking the basket. And even in the half court, he has the ability to take smaller guards into the paint and hit big shots over them under control. So this has been a rebirth for him. You see players grow in front of our eyes, which is why we love sports. We've seen him grow at the end of a season, which is rare.
But I think the funniest memory I had was my junior year. We leave Pauley Pavilion to head downtown to the sports arena.
Yeah.
We get stuck in traffic. We're late to the game. 13 minutes left before the game starts. Lab's like, we got to run to the game. So Coach Lab had us out running through traffic, dodging cars. We had our jerseys on. He's carrying his suit. We get into the sports arena, and it's 13 minutes left, and they just mop us. They destroy us. It's our only loss I've ever had versus SC, and that still sits into my soul till this day.